I just had a lady at break tell me that she wondered if my watch slowed down and had problems with it. She said she had has a son that's real high energy like me, moves quickly, gets a lot done, and his watch stops. His energy like somehow goes in that watch and makes it slow down. So far I haven't had that problem, but as you can tell, I tend to move a lot and move quickly, and I don't let things get me stopped. I tend to move forward. I get past hurdles. And so, like I said, I'm going to keep covering a lot today and give you all kinds of techniques. Pick the ones that really resonate with you and try them. Obviously, you don't have to do all these things. There's a ton of stuff. I'm giving you lots of choices. You can hit the ones that really, connect with you. Another technique here that you really need to fit in is some quiet time. Healthy body needs a little downtime, and a body responds very negatively to too much stress. You understand what you really want from life. You just take about 20 minutes or so a day and listen to that inner self or inner voice. I use them interchangeably. They're basically the same thing, but basically what is inside you. It has your back and your best interest in mind, so you can trust it. Intuition, you've always heard, you got to listen to that gut instinct, gut feeling. Find your true passions from within. I had not listened to myself in 20 years. I had, as you saw, all kinds of high-level jobs and degrees and everything else. And during that time I mentioned when I had limiters, I became negative and irritable. Remember back a little ways, I said I had those struggles with all the people that told me all kinds of crap. And it was all wrong, and it was lies, and just flat out junk. And when I went through that process, I became negative and irritable, and I started trying meditation, looked at a whole bunch of ways, and sort of figured out one way that worked well. And it's very simple meditation, and I calmed down, and I started searching my mind and inner self and listening and quieting down. It took that negative demeanor away. Ultimately but I'm fairly hyper, as you can tell, and so it was very hard for me to get rid of the clutter out of my mind and shut it down and get out of that stuff. I would use the word deflect. So usually use a calming kind of thing, and I'll hit that in a minute, but I would use the word deflect when crap started coming back in my mind and I needed to empty mine. I stopped being as much of a pleaser, though, also, is what I learned through this. And started listening to what I believed and not what I thought others said about me or believed about me. Normally they don't even think about you, but everybody thinks that. They always think about what others are thinking or saying about them. But I stopped being much of a pleaser. That happens to be one of my areas that I had picked up early in life and continued to want to impress and do more and be better. And it's a pleaser kind of mentality. And I got out a chunk of that. Again, the quiet setting, that's a true picture down in Tennessee at a cabin I stay at. A way to get that quiet setting is find a place that is quiet, eliminating distractions, dim, peaceful light and sound, maybe some yoga kind of music or something that doesn't have words and stuff, just peaceful instrumental stuff. Sit up straight, hands open. Look toward an empty wall or something calm outside, or waves if you're near an ocean or whatever it is, but something that's not distracting, that's just a calm thing that keeps moving repetitively. Breathe slow from your stomach, not from your chest. Deeper breaths. In, and some do in from your nose, out your mouth. You can do those. A mantra, which is the word I was just talking about, that you've heard of, Om. Om. That rumble kind of sound, I use the word calm. It's very similar. If you get that, that's a calming kind of sound to your body, and it does chill you out, calm you down. And repeat that phrase or word. Some do prayer kind of things. They repeat repetitively as their phrase, but you've got to really clear your mind. And if you're hyper like me, it's harder than you'd imagine for a while. But I got much better at it as I just kept doing it. I remember every day for a while there. That 30-day thing, definitely do it with this, and you get much better at it. I prove that. But listen then to yourself as you get that empty, what I call RAM, your conscious mind. Empty RAM, or empty your conscious mind out and blank it out. Get the crap out of there and just listen. Just listen. You'd be surprised what you might hear. So sum all these up, because we've covered a whole lot of things today. Put this together in a daily routine. So put more positive growth information in and reduce the negative that you used to put in through news and killings and stabbings and bad elections and all this crap. And put the positive stuff. Remember, if you want to be focused on something or become an expert in something, put that stuff in and fill your mind with that, and the rest of that, leave go. You don't need it. Read your goal, your affirmation, and look at that matching visualization 3 times daily for each of those goals. But do it one at a time and get those things matching together so that you have your goal, completed affirmation statement, and completed visualization all together at least 3 times daily, and hopefully more, giving each one that specific time on its own. Experience it truthfully in detail with emotions and senses brought into it so you really experience that completed state. Find that quiet time regularly. Do some success and gratitude journaling regularly, because you build those up. You go back and read them every so often. It makes you feel good. The success journal will pump you up, get you going into that next discomfort state or that uncomfortable setting that you're going to go into next to make you grow. Convert those negative thoughts to positive right as they occur. Remember, I said catch them, replace them with something positive that's many times it's just realistic, but at least something positive that squashes or quashes that negative out. There's some releasing techniques called Sedona method, tapping methods. There's several kinds of ways to actually release past thoughts and negative stuff out of your mind. And the key is you've got to take action daily so that you move forward and grow daily. Get in that. It's going to require you to get in the discomfort zone daily, though. And you've got to be able to not necessarily be comfortable with that, but be accepting of that. And you will grow, I guarantee it. And you got to be cautious. You got a big caution flag here, big yellow caution flag. Failed attempts, you need to hear next. I'm going forward. Because you will have things that don't work. Realize all these mind control techniques I've talked about get you past efforts or attempts that don't work. And you will have several. I guarantee it if you're growing and getting yourself out there in the discomfort zone that you don't know what's going to happen or what to do with. You're going to make some moves that don't work. Get used to having your mind say, okay, that didn't work, next, we're moving on to the next option. We're going to try the next thing. Entrepreneurs fail regularly. I've done it regularly. I've obviously tried a number of things. We learn from it. We get back on the horse, try it another way, try something else, or let that one go. If it's a particular business opportunity you tried, didn't work, maybe it's time to let that go and move on to the next one. Thomas Edison tried 10,000 times before discovering the light bulb. And he was interviewed, actually, and they said, how can you stand to have failed 10,000 times and gone forward? And he said, I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work, which led me to the way it did work. So I didn't fail, I just learned ways it didn't work, which got me to the way it did work. So it's all a mindset to moving forward and moving on to the next step. So you'll have things that don't work, but you have to build your mind to be very resilient. You'll move right on to the next step to reach your objective if you have that mindset, persistence, and never give up. Believe in yourself, and the rest of your life will be the best of your life. Positive thinking turns obstacles into opportunities. This too shall pass is one of the keys I use regularly. It works for so much. And if you think about it, you have a bad experience. Right at the time, it's the worst it can be. The next day, a little better. Next week, better. Next month, a lot better. Next quarter, a lot better. You might have forgotten it. So you just have to get away from it a little bit, because it will move forward and it will pass. Some personal growth. Recognize yourself for achieving little steps along the way, because you want to keep growing, and you want to recognize when you've actually completed a step that worked as it's supposed to. So recognize those little things. all those will build up to make you more and more confident to keep going further and take other steps. Take those planned risks daily and step outside the comfort zone. You will continue to grow. Excuse me. This growth will continue to increase your confidence and esteem, just like I said, and it increases your happiness too. You're upbeat, you're much more positive, you are better to be around, you are positive with other people. You pump up other people. Take at least these 30 and really more consecutive days without skipping, and doing it 3 times a day or more. AM, midday, and PM is just sort of a general standard, but get it in there. Get it in and make it part of your top-of-mind mentality. And get rid of all the crap that's taking top of mind now. Push it out.